What's up, YouTube? Timmy's here. Now, 2025 saw lots of really good male lead performances. So here is my official top 10 favorite male lead film performances of 2025. And whether who any of these actually get nominated for the Oscars or whatever, that's when to see. But a lot of these performances were excellent. I mean, I admit it was a little bit hard to come up with a top 10. Uh, But at the end, I will do my honorable mentions. So here is my list. Number 10 is Wagner Moura for The Secret Agent. This is, of course, the Brazilian political thriller set during the Brazil's military dictatorship. And Moura portrays Marcelo, who's the code and eternal. And he plays like him as like a man constantly performing loyalty while suffocating under like fear. And Wagner, I think this guy's terrific. Of course, he was really good in that TV show, Dope Thief, that premiered this past year. I really also quite liked him in Civil War, which I think he should have gotten his some award recognition for Civil War. I think this guy's terrific. Here, he was really amazing. Like, if he actually does win Best Actor, I wouldn't complain at all because he was really good in this one. Number 9 is Hugh Jackman for Sorg Sung Blue. Of course, this is a gentle, heartfelt drama about Neil Diamond tribute singer navigating his love, aging, and reinvention through music here. And Hugh Jackman, I really think he is terrific here. I mean, whenever you think of Hugh Jackman, you always the edge, you always think of him as Wolverine. He's great as Wolverine, but he could show that he has some really decent non-Wolverine acting chops. He definitely has that music acting chops too. We've seen that with Les Miserables, The Greatest Showman, and here I thought he really nailed it every inch. Really played this part well. His chemistry with Kate Hudson was really good. Like he really had some really nice emotional moments, some really decent serious moments. Really wonderful performance in my opinion. All right, coming in at number 8 is Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon. Now, of course, Blue Moon is the Richard Linklater film, where a chamber, pretty much like a style biopic focusing on lyrics Lorenz Hart during the decline of his career and health, set largely over one uphill night here. And I gotta say, Ethan Hawke really does such a good job. Like, really embodied Lorenz Hart really well. Definitely was very unrecognizable here too. I mean, Richard Linklater definitely knows how to give a good performance out of Ethan Hawke, whether it's the Before trilogies, whether it's Boyhood, which he got an Oscar nomination for. And I really thought he was excellent in this here and a really good performance. And he's also good in the Lowdown. Like, good year for Ethan Hawke. Between the Lowdown, Black Phone 2, and Blue Moon, solid year for Hawke there. Like, who doesn't love the Hawkman, right? All right. Speaking of Ethan Hawke, my number 7 pick is his Training Day co-star, Denzel Washington for Highest to Lowest. Now, of course, here is Spike Lee's retelling of the reimagining, if you will, of the Kara Kurosawa film High and Low, and it follows like a powerful music executive facing moral crisis when like a wealthy pride community collide here, and he plays King with a very regal but bro here. Obviously, he's trying to do everything to get his friend's son back from this kidnapper here. Denzel does such a great job throughout. Really like his like phone sync back and forth with ASAP Rocky was really an interesting one. Denzel definitely gives such a really I mean, it's probably not as good as, let's say, Training Day or something like Malcolm X, nothing like that, but it was a really good performance. And obviously, Spike Lee knows how to give a good performance out of Denzel. I mean, he's worked with Denzel tons of times, so and Denzel definitely does such a good job here. Number 6 is Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. Michael B. Jordan, who I really think he should have got his first Oscar nomination for Fruitvale Station, but that's time for another time. Obviously, he plays two characters in this, and he does such a great job at playing these two characters as these two twin brothers here. I mean, Ryan Coogler obviously did a great job. Michael B. Jordan nails it out of park. Whether he gets an Oscar nomination, who knows, but he does such a great job as both parts here. All right, number 5 is George Clooney for Jay Kelly. I mentioned this before. I think Jay Kelly is George Clooney's best performance since The Descendants. Which I actually think, all due respect to John Dodgen, I still think George Clooney should have won his Oscar for that. But anyway, and I really thought he did a great job in Jay Kelly. Of course, a comedy about like a aging Hollywood power player who reckoned with legacy, friendship, rapidly changing industry here. His chemistry with Adam Sandler is really decent. I really do quite like the ending where George Clooney is looking at is in like a premiere of his of like a movie there here, and he's looking at like his past films as if it was like it's pretty much clips of George Clooney's movies, but instead of like it being named George Clooney, it's named Jay Kelly in the credits instead, which that was actually pretty cool to say the least. But yeah, George Clooney was excellent here. I mean, again, he hasn't really been this good since The Descendants, so really happy to see George Clooney a little bit back here. All right, number 4 is Dwayne Johnson for the Smashing Machine. I would not expect you to include Dwayne Johnson on this list, but man, Dwayne Johnson as Mark Kerr, I will really be shocked if he doesn't get an Oscar nomination because Dwayne Johnson was terrific here. Definitely something I have seen him do some dramas like remember he was in Gridiron Gang. He did showcase some dramatic chops in the movie Snitch and Pain and Gain, which I think he could have gotten some award recognition for Pain and Gain. But this is really where Dwayne Johnson shined as a dramatic actor. He definitely does such a good job throughout. He is incredible every edge. I mean, his chemistry with Emily Blunt's terrific. I mean, it makes me want to see Dwayne Johnson, try his hands at doing more dramatic stuff because he was incredible here. All right. Coming in at number 3 is Leonardo DiCaprio for One Bow After Another. I mean, I really thought what DiCaprio did in this was incredible. I mean, it's not as good as performance as, let's say, Wolf of Wall Street or his previous stuff, but he was still excellent throughout. It really, like, Leo DiCaprio is literally one of my, like, in my top 10 favorite actors of all time. This guy is just always terrific, nails it out of the park. Lots of directors directs him to a great performance, whether it's a Martin Scorsese, Christopher Nolan, Quentin Tarantino, Alejandro Inarritu, and so on. The guy is just incredible, and here he was amazing. All right, coming in at number 2 is Jeremy Allen White for Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere. Now, I've been a fan of this guy ever since I saw him as Lip Gallagher on Shameless. And obviously, he's been having a really great success thanks to The Bear, which he, of course, won a couple of Emmys for. But, man, I guarantee you, he has an Emmy on his mantle, but I guarantee you, one of these days, he'll have an Oscar on his mantle. Maybe not for this, but maybe not even for The Social Reckoning or whatever. Maybe not for Enemies, but I guarantee you he will have an Oscar on his mantle once his career is over. Like, the guy is just terrific. Even if you don't like the movie in general, because the movie it got mixed reviews, but even if you did not like the film, you can't deny that Jeremy Allen White as Bruce Springsteen was perfect. He embodied Springsteen perfectly. Whoever knew the cat could sing, like whoever knew Lip could sing, But yeah, he did such a great job here. I mean, definitely incredible performance here. It's a shame Holly it didn't do so well, but it is what it is, I guess. And my number 1 favorite male lead performance of the year, film-wise is Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme. Of course, this is one of my favorite films of the year. It's just so good, so endearing. I mean, the Safdies really know how to give good performances out of their stars, whether it's like Robert Pattinson for Good Time, whether it's Adam Sandler for Uncut Gems, obviously Timothy for this. Benny, obviously, Dwayne Johnson for Smash Machine and stuff. I mean, Timothy definitely just nails it all. Like, I think this is his best performance. Even over, when he played Bob Dylan, I even think this is a better performance than Paul Atreides in Dune. That's how good he is in this. He is just so incredible, and I guarantee you, I won't be surprised if he actually wins his Oscar for this one. Whether it goes to maybe Wagner Moore, whether it goes to Ethan Hawke, who knows? But I have a really hunch that Timothy could possibly win for this, but we'll see. And hey, if he doesn't win for this, he'll definitely have an Oscar on his mantle like before his career. I guarantee before he turns 40, he'll have an Oscar on his mantle, but we'll see. Anyway, that That's pretty much it there. Here is my quick rundown. Number 10, Wagner Moore for The Secret Agent. 9, Hugh Jackman for Song Sung Blue. 8, Ethan Hawke for Blue Moon. 7, Denzel Washington for Highest to Lowest. 6, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners. 5, George Clooney for Jay Kelly. 4, Dwayne Johnson for The Smash Machine. 3, Leo DiCaprio for One Bad After Another. 2, Jeremy Allen White for Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. And number 1 is Timothy Chalamet, or as Adam Sandler will call him, Chalamet, from Marty Supreme. Now, a couple of honorable mentions I like to include. Joaquin Phoenix for Eddington, which I think is his best performance since his Oscar win for Joker. Jonathan Majors, despite the controversy with Jonathan Majors, he was pretty good in Magazine Dreams. Jonathan Leguizamo for Bob Trevino Alexa. Joe Egerton for Train Dreams. I could have included him on this list. Channing Tatum was great in Roofman. Even though I did not like the movie itself, Daniel Day-Lewis was still good in his antimony film. Nick Cage for The Surfer, he was great in. Tim Robinson for Friendship. Jesse Plemons for Bagona. Brendan Fraser for Rental Family. Let's see. Matthew McConaughey for The Lost Bus. Tana Tiu for Kiss of the Spy Woman. Dylan O'Brien for Twinless. Again, I could have done a top 15 if I really wanted to, but I just narrowed down to 10. But anyway, let me let you guys. Who were some of your favorite male lead film performances of the year? Drop comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Timmy Simon.